Hello everybody, this is Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers on board this Fast 42 from 2005 to give you a really good look around her interior, to give you an idea of what she looks like, what's fitted, where it is and what it might look like. So as you can see, I'm standing in the main saloon looking towards the companionway. Now first things to notice, lots of headroom down here, probably about, gosh, there must be running on just below 7 feet there, so lots of room for the taller amongst us. And as you can see, the headlining is bare. I'm not sure if this is painted or bare gel coat or not, but it's great because it means that we don't have any headlining sag, etc. We can get to it to clean easily, and you can see we've got all the fittings for the running rigging, etc. You can see we've got some of the chain plates down here. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces that we can actually access, change if you want to, or maybe modify as well. And you can see we've got inset downlighters there too. Also, just to notice around the companionway area, we'll look at that in a moment. When we come down here, we've got lovely long grab rails that take us all the way towards the forward bulkhead here. So something to hang on to if we're on a tilt on this boat, which you're very likely to because she is an out and out racer. And talking of the companionway, here it is. Really lovely and easy to get down. We've got a little hop up on the outside, nice and deep this way, nice and wide. And once we get down, we can hang on to the railings either side. No worries at all. 3 or 4 steps down, nice and wide again and angled so that they're usable in a heel, and we're inside the interior. Now the companionway forms part of the engine box, so I'll just briefly cover that at the moment. You can see we've got this GRP section here that looks like it's just releases with a couple of nuts by the looks of it to give access to the front of the engine, and of course we have access to the port and starboard sides of the engines in the cabins, where I'll show you in one moment. But let's concentrate on the saloon for now. So on the starboard side, as we come down the companionway, we're straight to the nav station, which is great news because this person navigating here can communicate with whoever's helming or navigating up there with ease. It's just a talk around the corner. We've got a forward facing chart table, good size too, really nice and easy to get through here and slither or slide into place into the seat there and wedge yourself in. A really useful space. I think we have storage underneath there as well for your bits and pieces, a small fiddled shelf outboard, and a decent sized chart table with room inside for your pens and pencils, etc. A couple of nav instruments on the forward bulkhead there, and again this forms something useful to hang on to as we're making our way forwards. And on the outboard side, you can see we've got the stereo unit. There are speakers all over the boat, and we've got the DSC radio, VHF, and the electrics panel there with an inset DC meter. Also very nice indeed, very ergonomic, nice and easy to wipe and keep clean as well. Just looking up from there, you'll notice we have a row of windows. Now we've got 4 on each side, all opening as well, and that gives it a really very striking appeal from the outside. I really love the way we've got these equi-space windows, and that adds to her appeal outside. But for down here, of course, it's letting lots of light in, it's letting lots of air in, so we're always going to have good ventilation inside here. Very good indeed. There's a view of the saloon. Now you can see just how much room we've got down here. We don't have the table fitted at the moment. I believe that's a way to be confirmed, but we've got lots of room here, and the idea here is to allow the crew space to change, sail changes, etc. And you can see we can lift all of the bilge boards here, so you've got great access for checking the keel bolts, for the bilge pump suctions, for checking the keel matrix, and checking any levels down there as well. And you can see 1 or 2 places we've had some modifications done for particular applications that only the current vendors will know what they're for, I'm sure. I think this one is access for a very tiny little bilge in there, just to allow you to get in there and give it a sponge out if needed. But we'll check up on that, and I'm sure they will elaborate if they're asked. No worries. On the starboard side of the saloon going forward, you can see we've got an L-shaped sofa. We have storage underneath here, we have storage behind and storage above as well, nice and easy to get to. We've got one of, I believe, three manual bilge pump access points down here. So there's one down here, 2 in the cockpit to my knowledge, to be confirmed. And again, on the outboard side here, if we're really leaning over, we've got something to hang on to here as well as up here. And of course we can store things behind the fiddles there as well if we want to. And there's a little look inside the shelves, actually quite deep in there, plenty of space for all sorts of bits and pieces. There's safety gear in there, winch handles, etc. Good storage abounds on this boat. Now the floor looks like the traditional stripy material that we find on lots of lovely boats, and of course, being the kind of boat she is, you can see there's evidence of wear and tear. That may be we could renovate that possibly, or it may be a case of thinking about some kind of lining or replacement. But this is the kind of boat she is. So on the port side here, if I just move my camera out of the way, you can see that we've got the galley unit. Now it's a linear unit, so we're starting port aft. We can see that we've got a lovely, great big workspace here, much bigger than we see on most boats. We've got a double socket there that needs changing, and we can see we've got one of our stereo speakers there, carbon monoxide alarm as well. Then if you just look down, we can see we've got all sorts of cupboards, drawers for our bits and pieces, our pots and pans, our food, etc., etc. And they've cunningly made really great use of the fiddle for the shelf here, all the way around the cooker as well, for something to hang on to as well. And of course, as we move in front of the cooker as well, we've got the safety bar there too. So really great galley application. It's there, it's easy to get from the cooker or the workspace area up to the companionway and to pass all the dirties down, although the dirties do need to go all the way to the port forward corner, but there's plenty of room to get there, no worries. We have two burners here on the gimbaled cooker. We have a grill and an oven underneath, and moving forward from that, we can see we have yet more outboard cupboards with sliding doors on, no worries at all. Access to the port chain plate there. We have a sink. Now this tap is a mixer, so this would be hot and cold running water. It is only cold at the moment because the calorifier on this boat has been isolated, but the owners tell me that that can be reinstated if needed. They just don't need it for what they're using the boat for. And this is pressurised salt water there. And again, fiddled all the way round, and something to hang on to, and it's going to keep all the slops into your sink by the looks of it, with cupboards below. How cool. Very good indeed. So, moving forward, in fact, what we'll do before we move forward, we'll cover the after cabin. So this is the entrance to the port aft cabin. Nice wide entrance, nice and high as well. So not many people will have to duck underneath that. So once we're in, we can see we have a small lobby here. Now the door here has been taken away, to be confirmed if we still have it or not, but we will make sure we talk about that in the advert. We've got a big hanging locker on the port side, or the outboard side there, access to the engine where we're looking a moment, and as I mentioned, a good lobby to sit and get changed in. A fiddle shelf here again with more handholds in. I really like the way that these are kind of uniform around the boat, really well thought of. Other manufacturers should take heed. And here we've got the bed, so very nice and long, nice and wide, plenty of room for here in here for crew or for a couple for a weekend or longer. You have your own opening window, nice bit of woodwork in here too, and relatively high height here, so not feeling too claustrophobic here. Of course, your feet are going to be down that end, and of course if you're laying here you'll have a little bit less head height, but that's the design of the boat. You can really see the beautiful shape of the stern there, which is going to give you that speed that you're probably craving. Now on the inboard side, and don't worry, we have the cover for here, so we've got the engine inside this caboose here. So we've got opening port, opening to starboard, and opening at the front as well. So great access for the engineers. This engine's been recently serviced, probably around July of 2024. And again, we'll articulate that in the advert. We've got lots of wiring and electrics on the back bulkhead, nice and easy to get to. We can keep an eye on the sail drive gate. We've got great visibility of that. We can see the bilge as well. We can see all the bits and pieces that we need to. We can check the coolant. We can check the oil. Or we can check the gearbox. All everything in its place, and a place for everything. No worries. And above it, you can see the aforementioned calorifier that has been disconnected, but is still there. It's got an immersion heater on it as well, and I think there's something here we need to reconnect just to get that going again. And of course, you've got the auto fire extinguisher above as well. So all looking good for the engineers. They will thank you. So as we come out of here, what we'll do is we'll pop round to the starboard side and have a look in this starboard cabin, which is very similar to port. You can see again, we've got the door taken away. Now that will be to save space and to make moving around this boat quickly nice and easy for the racing people. But we have a nice big lobby there and access to the starboard side of the engine, as I mentioned. And again, as we come in, good high door and good high head height here as we're standing in this area here. On the outboard side, we've got an extinguisher and a lovely great big hanging locker there. If I can just show you in there, plenty of room in there. And we have got a fiddle shelf here again with the hand holds that I'm so fond of. Now this bed's slightly different. We have a nice long bed, nice and wide, probably the same size as the port side, with an opening window and a good head height here as well. But over here we just put this cradle berth on the outboard side. Now that will be just to give you the ability to take an extra crew with you. And actually that looks really cozy. I'd have my head down that end and I would be perfectly happy lying in bed there, feeling nice and cozy. And of course, if there's nobody sleeping there, then that is somewhere where you could stow all your gear if you decide to go on a longer trip. Very good indeed. So that is the starboard aft cabin, and let's make our way forward. So a bit of a walk through the saloon because it's so big, but as we make our way forward, you can just see the base of the mast. So we have a keel stepped mast here, so this is where we're coming through the coach roof here and taking all the pressure and strain of the rig down to the keel of the boat, where it's distributed amongst the keel matrix and the rest of the boat. So really lovely design. And on the port side here, a lovely, great big hanging locker here. A nice bit of woodwork there as well. Plenty of room in here for your wellies, your fowlies, your fluffy dice, etc. All looking good. And of course we have a little bit of access there to the port chain plate too, all grand. And on the outboard side, on the starboard side, you can see we've got the head. This is the one heads on this boat, but a decent compartment. Again, the door is away. We'll have to ascertain if the doors are available. And we've got the aft facing head there, manual. We've got a cupboard here. We've got cold running water with the addition of hot running water if you reinstated the chlorifier. Access to the starboard chain plate there, and a decent sized cupboard for the cruise bits and pieces, wash bags, etc. And you can see probably where everything disappears down the hole there too. Plenty of room, great head height, and nice radius corners as well to give you the ability to clean nice and easily. All good. And the final compartment on the boat is the forward cabin. There we go. Of course, this is given over to a sail locker in this particular application, but with the door taken away, we have got the big lobby here, plenty of room in here to change. As we come in, we've got on the port side, we've got a hanging locker here. This is given over to sheets, halyards, etc. And you can see just how many sails are stored in this area. But with all of this taken away, should you prefer more of a cruising application, then we have got a nice long wide V berth here. We've got carpeted sides, we've got some wood. Headlining again is the bare gel coat. I think this is possibly a painted finish, but again, nice and easy to just wipe clean if needed. And of course we have the hatch open here as well, which is giving lots of light and ventilation down below. Always handy. Head height here, it was really good. This is probably about 6 feet here, and as the coach roof just gently relaxes as we go forward, it does come down towards the bow, but that's not a problem because that is over the bed where we'll be sitting or sleeping. And underneath the bed we've got the water tank. I just had a sneak look under there. I think it's probably mild steel, maybe stainless, I'm not sure, to be confirmed. And of course we've got storage under here and here, all looking good. So this has been Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, just taking you for a quick look around the interior of this very racy, very amazing looking, very striking and very well known local Brighton boat. If you'd like any more information, just go to boatshedbrighton.com, where you'll find lots more pictures, videos and virtual reality. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.